In a quiet corner of a beautiful kingdom, there lived a gentle girl named Cinderella. Her real name was Ella, but because she was often covered in ashes from cleaning the fireplace, her stepmother and two stepsisters mockingly called her Cinderella. Her mother had died when she was very young, and her father, who dearly loved her, remarried a proud woman with two daughters of her own. Sadly, after her father passed away, the true nature of her stepmother emerged. One afternoon, a grand royal messenger arrived. Trumpets sounded, and he announced, "Every day, Cinderella swept the floors, scrubbed the walls, washed the laundry, and cooked meals she never got to taste." Her stepsisters, Drizella and Anastasia, lounged about, fussing over dresses and jewels. Drizella and Anastasia shrieked and danced around, while Cinderella's heart quietly flooded with hope. That night, Cinderella approached her stepmother, yet Cinderella remained gentle and hopeful. Each morning, she whispered to the birds perched by her window, "Good morning, little friends. One day, things will get better." And the birds chirped back as if to say, "Keep hoping, dear Cinderella." By order of His Majesty, all maidens of the realm are invited to a royal ball at the palace tomorrow night. His Royal Highness, the Prince, shall choose his bride. Excitement filled the household. "Cinderella, may I go to the ball, stepmother? I've finished my chores." Lady Tremaine raised an eyebrow. "Lady Tremaine, if you can find something suitable to wear and finish every chore before we leave, you may go." Ribbons flew, beads scattered on the floor. Laughing cruelly, they left Cinderella in tatters. She knew well that Cinderella had nothing but rags to wear. Undeterred, Cinderella found an old dress that had belonged to her mother. On the evening of the ball, Cinderella hurried downstairs in her dress. Her little friends, the mice Gus and Yak, and the birds helped her fix it, adding ribbons and beads thrown away by her stepsisters. When Cinderella saw the dress, she gasped, "Cinderella, oh, thank you. It's beautiful." With a graceful wave of her wand, the fairy godmother spoke. Gisella and Anastasia sneered. "Gisella, those beads, you stole them from me." They ripped the dress apart. The carriage rolled away, leaving Cinderella alone, heartbroken in the garden under a silver moon. Cinderella sank onto a stone bench and wept. They transformed into a gown of shimmering silver and blue, delicate glass slippers sparkling like moonlight. "Cinderella! Cinderella! When the last stroke of 12 sounds, the magic will fade." At the palace, all eyes turned as Cinderella entered. Even her stepsisters, not recognizing her, could only stare in envy. "Why must kindness be punished?" A gentle voice interrupted. "Fairy godmother, dear child, dry your tears. Kindness is never truly wasted." From a swirl of light and stardust, an old woman with twinkling eyes appeared. Beep-a-dee-bop. A pumpkin turned into a grand golden carriage. 4 mice became handsome white horses. One glass slipper slipped from her foot, but she didn't dare stop. The carriage turned back into a pumpkin, her gown back into red, but she held the other glass slipper tightly. When they arrived at Cinderella's house, Lady Tremaine locked her in the attic. Heartbroken yet grateful for the magical night, Cinderella hid the slipper safely. A rat became a coachman. 2 lizards turned into footmen. Finally, she tapped Cinderella's rags. "Oh, fairy godmother, it's beautiful. How can I ever thank you?" From her pocket, she took out the other glass slipper. "Fairy godmother, be home by midnight, dear." At the palace, the prince ran to meet her. The prince himself was captivated. He walked straight to her and bowed. "Prince, may I have this dance?" Cinderella, the girl who stayed kind, even when life was unkind to her, found happiness at last. "Yes, your highness." They danced through the grand hall. Time slipped away. As the first stroke of midnight echoed, Cinderella remembered the warning. "Cinderella, I must go." "Prince, wait, I don't even know your name." She ran down the marble steps. At the palace, the prince declared he would marry the girl whose foot fit the lost slipper. Soldiers traveled across the kingdom, testing the slipper on every maiden. Downstairs, Drizella and Anastasia tried desperately to force the slipper onto their feet, but it wouldn't fit. Meanwhile, with help from the mice, Cinderella escaped the attic. "Cinderella, may I try, please?" Lady Tremaine scoffed, but the footman nodded. Cinderella slid her foot gracefully into the slipper. It fit perfectly. "Soldier, your royal highness awaits you." "Prince, it is you! Will you stay by my side forever?" "Cinderella, yes, with all my heart." Soon after, they married in a grand celebration. But even as a princess, Cinderella remained gentle and humble, kind to the rich and poor alike. And in the kingdom, her story was told for generations, that true magic lies not in wands and spells, but in kindness, hope, and courage.